Matt Sager with Great Way Roofing, here to inspect the roof of the Lighthouse Church in Newbury Park. I thought I'd take a quick minute to just run down some of the current conditions, our top concerns, and we're going to wrap up with some recommendations. Okay, so for our current conditions, we have a modified cap sheet roof. It's got great pitch to it, very open field here in the middle. So we can see water's going to travel to all the parapet walls in the waterways. And we've got a few low spots here in the middle of the building. We've got a handful of rooftop equipment. There are drains in each corner of the building. And I understand there are a handful of leaks throughout the property that I've yet to be able to view from inside. But overall, it's not a bad looking roof. And I can see there have been previous repairs performed in a handful of places, but that's really it for our current conditions. Well, one last thing, you can see just a lot of loose granules that take place here in the waterways, and that's just again because of the pitch on this roof. But we'll move on to our concerns. Okay, I'm going to move along to some of our concerns. I'll start with the rooftop equipment. So for example, a lot of leaks will occur through ducts or through platforms, and this platform sits on a metal sleeper and this one sits on a wood sleeper, and water can actually get in underneath the unit and sit on the platform, so that's always a concern. Here's a better example of what we prefer to see, where you have a metal sheet metal pan put on top of the platform. This allows us to terminate our material underneath that, and you can see how nicely elevated the unit is here. This looks like a newer unit. Some of the other concerns are going to just fall back on the waterways, just because of all the great pitch this roof has, all the water flowing to the waterways. There were a few low spots in the middle of the roof. Those are always a concern, but really not too many concerns with this roof. As you can see, it's very open. So we'll move on to some of our recommendations. Okay, so we're going to wrap things up with some recommendations. I do feel this building is an ideal candidate for the fluid applied acrylic roof system. We come in here and clean the roof. We want to fill in some of these low spots with pond patch, clean all the granules out of the waterways, and then we would apply 6 gallons of an emulsion embedded with a stitch bonded polyester fabric, 6 gallons per 100 square feet. That will cover the entire building, and then we finish with the elastomeric coating, which is applied at 3 gallons per 100 square feet. It will give you the reflective benefits and cool down the building. I also would like to recommend that we go ahead and add an additional ply of the polyester fabric around the entire perimeter of the building. We'll embed that with some additional acrylic that'll add strength to the perimeter of the roof. As far as the sign over here, we could just work around this, unless we wanted to get an electrician out here to get behind that, but I don't think that'll be necessary. I do think it would make sense to work together with an HVAC contractor to go ahead and install new metal pans beneath the units that do not have them, such as these, like the example shown over here. It'd be great to see all the units have these type of pans, but if not, that's fine too. We can always do the roof. If there was ever a leak, you can address each one individually at that time. But I look forward to this opportunity, and we'll be in touch.